Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, family and friends. On behalf of the Montgomery family, welcome to the retirement ceremony marking 21 years of honorable and faithful active duty naval service for Captain Richard Montgomery. I'm Commander Jonathan Baer, your master of ceremony. We ask that all guests please rise for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the national anthem and the invocation by retired Colonel Christopher W. Scharf, United States Marine Corps. For military guests in attendance, please be covered. Host the Side Boys. Sound 4 bells. Captain, United States Navy, arriving. Sound 4 bells. Captain, United States Navy, arriving. Sound 4 bells. Captain, United States Navy, arriving. Color guard, parade the colors. Gabriel Montgomery, Cap Montgomery's son, will now sing the national anthem.
In the home of
Color Guard, retire the colors. Ladies and gentlemen, retired Colonel Christopher Scharf will now offer the invocation.
Hey, good morning, all. Pray with me, please. Heavenly Father, thank you. Thank you for this day and its beauty, the people who have supported Rich and are honoring him in his retirement, and for Rich himself, who you've endowed with gifts of which he's been a faithful steward. The gifts of a mind capable of learning the intricacies of aviation and medicine, and discernment to seek your wisdom in the application of those learnings. A body with stamina and determination to hold fast during trying times and times of trouble, yet fully aware of the dependence on you to provide all which he and others needed for their and your missions. A servant's heart, inspired by your love to serve his family, his country, and you in professions which few are capable of and few can complete. Lastly, your sons and daughters gathered here today and honoring him not in your presence today, who helped guide, coach, mentor, and love him in and through the path laid before him. Please bless our time this morning. Allow your Spirit to guide today's ceremony and speak the words you need us to hear. It's in your holy and sovereign name that flies redemption through your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Thank you, Gabriel and Colonel Scharf. Side boys, host. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Military guests, please uncover. We are gathered this morning to witness the final benchmark in a very successful 21-year military career and to share our gratitude for this dedicated and faithful shipmate. Just as today symbolizes the end of one phase in Captain Montgomery's life, it also represents the beginning of another. Today gives us the opportunity to offer our prayers and blessings toward a very successful future as he and his family look forward to a life filled with new challenges and rewards. I extend a special warm welcome to Captain Montgomery's wife Lorraine, his two sons, Joshua and Gabriel, his father, retired aviation machinist mate Senior Chief Ronald Montgomery, and the rest of the family. We are pleased to have you all here with us today, as well as the many family and friends who have traveled from afar to San Diego, California, for this special day. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct honor and pleasure to introduce and welcome our presiding officer, Captain Benjamin Drinkwine, United States Navy. You can read more about Captain Drinkwine's illustrious career in today's program. Please help me give a warm welcome to Captain Drinkwine.
Good morning, distinguished guests, family, friends, and shipmates. It is my great privilege to serve as the presiding officer for the retirement ceremony of Captain Richard Montgomery, recognizing 21 years of dedicated naval service. Of all the Navy customs and traditions, there is none that I enjoy more than the Navy retirement ceremony. I suppose the only thing I don't like about a Navy retirement ceremony is that there don't seem to be so many in my peer group, and it seems that I'm beginning to feel like the last man standing. Former Navy CNO Admiral George Anderson once said, The Navy has both a tradition and a future, and we look with pride and confidence in both directions. Today is an opportunity to do just that. With its pomp and circumstance and traditions rooted centuries in the past, this ceremony looks back upon and celebrates a noble career committed to service. John F. Kennedy said, "I can imagine no more rewarding a career." Any man who may be asked in this century what he did to make his life worthwhile, I think can respond with a good deal of pride and satisfaction. I served in the United States Navy. While admitting to some bias, I will amplify this quotation by stating that I can imagine no more rewarding a career than that of a Navy physician. Not only do we have the honor to serve in the defense of this great nation, but we are charged with the awesome duty of caring for our nation's heroes and their families. Today we may also look forward with pride and confidence. Not only does Rich stand on the threshold of a new adventure, but as a result of his efforts throughout a long and decorated career, he also leaves the Navy better than when he entered. To list but one example, during his tenure as Radiology Residency Program Director, he successfully graduated 30 new Navy radiologists, leaving a lasting legacy and helping to ensure a bright future for Navy medicine. I've been very fortunate to work with Rich at NMCSD for over a decade. He is a consummate naval officer, a trusted clinical expert, a collaborative leader, and a tireless educator. Rich, on behalf of myself and the NMCSD Radiology Department, I would like to offer you my sincerest gratitude for your 21 years of active duty naval service and for your years of mentorship, leadership, and unwavering commitment to outstanding patient care and resident education. Thank you and congratulations on a well-deserved retirement. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce and welcome our guest speaker, Captain Patrick Brooks, United States Navy. You can also find more information about Captain Brooks' distinguished career in today's program. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Captain Brooks.
Good morning, everyone. Well, it's always an honor to celebrate and recognize the successful career of a shipmate and friend. I'm extremely honored to be here with you this morning as we celebrate the remarkable career of Captain Rich Montgomery. Thanks for taking time out of your busy schedules to be here to help him celebrate 21 years of honorable and faithful service to our nation. Today, we not only recognize Rich's service, but we also pay tribute to his family that has stood with him through it all. Military family life definitely has many challenges that requires courage, responsibility, and a whole lot of patience. First, his wife, Lorraine. Lorraine has been by Rich's side, always faithfully supporting him. You have been a positive source of strength for Rich and endured the uncertainty of Navy life. Thank you for always being there and supporting him throughout his career. His sons, Joshua and Gabriel, have also stood by their dad and endured the unique challenges of being a military child. Because of this military lifestyle, they are forced to be resilient and adaptable. Thanks to both of you for supporting your dad, and we thank you for your sacrifices over the years. Well, everyone, please join me in a round of applause for Lorraine, Joshua, and Gabriel. Welcome also to Rich's dad, who's here from Hawaii. I know you must be extremely proud of the man that you have raised and what he has become in the United States Navy. I'm also very proud to have served with him. Also, welcome to the rest of Rich's extended family, friends, and shipmates that are here this morning. After leaving my first fleet squadron and transferring to shore duty to be an instructor, I had every intention of separating from the Navy at the completion of my shore tour. After checking into the 562nd Flying Training Squadron at Randolph Air Force Base in San Antonio, Texas, and completed instructor training school in December 2000, I was assigned to be a class advisor working for Rich, who was a flight commander at the time, which is the equivalent of a division officer in the United States Navy. When we first met over 23 years ago, we were both lieutenants and serving as instructor naval flight officers. teaching both Navy and Air Force officers to become naval flight officers and Air Force navigators. Rich was a model instructor. He was humble, he was fair, calm, and an inspirational leader that invested time in his students to help them become the best versions of themselves. He was definitely the type of instructor I aspired to be. I don't recall when we first had this conversation, but Rich asked me about my future plans in regards to the Navy. I let it be known that I was separating from the Navy after I completed my short tour. Ever the mentor, Rich laid out for me the benefits and reasons why I should stay in the Navy and retire. The first time that we had this conversation, I really didn't pay him no mind. We had this conversation many more times, and at some point I decided that I'm actually going to stay in the Navy a little bit longer. I truly credit Rich's mentorship to me still being here today, serving in the Navy, coming up on 29 years later this year. As instructors, Rich shared his desire to go to medical school and become a doctor, and I was very excited for him when the Navy selected him for this opportunity to pursue his dream. I was certainly sad to see him check out of the squadron, and his departure was unique in that it was the first and only time in my career that I've seen someone have a demotion ceremony. Our skipper at the time, Commander Dan Ball, gathered everyone on the quarterdeck and ceremoniously removed his lieutenant bars and replaced them with gold ensign bars, which is the rank he held while he went through medical school. We all laughed and joked that he had to call us sir now since we all outranked him. You know, all the lieutenants and the Air Force captains there at the squadron. As I continued my time at the 562nd Flying Training Squadron, I eventually became a flight commander as well, and I felt that I really developed as a leader in understanding what it means to take care of your people, whether it's sailors or junior officers. I completed this assignment on a real high, and to this day, being an instructor ranks as one of my top 3 Navy assignments, and I'm very grateful that I had a great mentor in Rich to help turn my career around. Now, if you will bear with me, I'm going to talk a little bit more about my career and how I got to where I am. After I left instructor duty, I transferred to the USS Nimitz, and she was home ported at Naval Air Station North Island, right across the bay behind us here, back in 2003. While in deployment to the Persian Gulf in 2005, I was promoted to lieutenant commander, and at some point thereafter, all of the other aviation lieutenants I served with in the Air Department either received phone calls or emails congratulating them on screening for department head. By the end of the week, I still hadn't received a congratulatory email, and I knew that that wasn't a good sign. At some point, the Commodore from my flying community called to let me know that I wasn't selected for operational aviation department head. She also let me know I'd get a second look and a final look the following year, but she was honest with me in telling me that there was less than 1% chance of being selected. So she encouraged me to start thinking about changing career fields. Otherwise, I would never promote beyond lieutenant commander and would eventually have to retire at that pay grade. Fast forward to 2006, and the Commodore called me again, letting me know that she was a member of the department head board, and that, as expected, I was not selected on my second and final look. She again encouraged me to consider pursuing another career field in the Navy, and she had already agreed the previous year to allow me to return to San Antonio to be an instructor again if I didn't get selected for department head. While serving as an instructor naval flight officer a second time, I submitted a lateral transfer package to become a Navy Human Resources officer in the summer of 2007, and I was actually selected. I felt that this opportunity would reinvigorate my Navy career, and I later transferred to the USS John C. Stennis in May 2008 for my first HR assignment. Fast forward 2 years to May 2010, and the day prior to my transfer from the ship, the commander promotion results came out, and my name was not on the selection list. Quite honestly, I was devastated while I was talking to my skipper during my checkout and fitness report debrief with him. I later spoke to my detailer, and she gave me feedback on things that I need to work on. And over the next year, I worked tirelessly to complete all the things that she told me that I needed to work on. And fortunately, I was selected for commander the following year above zone. What's the point of me sharing all this background information about myself? Well, to tie it back to Rich, the Navy is full of opportunities, particularly for those that are willing to work hard and not get discouraged when things don't always go as you plan. We both started our careers as naval flight officers and pivoted to do something else for different reasons. Things in life don't always go as planned, so we have to be flexible and ready to pivot and take advantage of new opportunities and experiences. As a former executive officer and commanding officer, Recruit Training Command, the Navy's only boot camp, recruits would often ask me for career advice before graduating. And I'd often tell them the Navy rewards those that are willing to work hard and to always take advantage of the many opportunities available to them as sailors. I'm very blessed to have served with Rich, and I appreciate his mentorship and friendship, and for showing me the many advantages of remaining a sailor for life. Because the quote from President Kennedy has already been recited this morning, we're going to say it again, but certainly serving with Rich has been, like I said, just very rewarding. He's a great mentor, a great friend, and I know he's done that for many throughout his career. He has indeed had a rewarding career as a naval flight officer and as a doctor, and I wish you, Lorraine, Joshua, and Gabriel the traditional fair winds and following seas. On behalf of all your shipmates, past and present, bravo Zulu on a job extremely well done.
Captain Drink Wine. Please join Cap Montgomery at center stage. Captain Montgomery will now be presented with his letter of appreciation from the President of the United States, Joseph Biden. Certificate of Appreciation for service in the Armed Forces of the United States of America. Cap Montgomery, I extend my personal gratitude and the sincere appreciation of a grateful nation to you for your patriotic service to our country. Your bravery and dedication in our armed forces help protect your fellow Americans during a critical moment in our history and contributed to a world of greater security and growing prosperity. Your devotion to duty, honor, and country, in keeping with the long traditions of the finest military in the world, embodied the American ideal of selfless sacrifice. Our nation owes you an incredible debt. Your commitment and the example you set will inspire future generations to serve with pride and to keep our country secure. You represent the best of our nation, and I join our fellow Americans in saluting your honorable service. I wish you happiness and success in your next chapter. Signed, Joseph R. Biden, Jr., Commander-in-Chief. Thank you, Captain Drinkwine and Cap Montgomery. Please be seated. According to some accounts of naval history and tradition, when a sailor retires and is departing the ship for the last time, it's considered bad luck for the sailor's shadow to touch land before he does. Thus, the sailor's shipmates would construct a sturdy box, handcrafted of the finest materials, in which to display mementos of the sailor's accomplishments, thereby symbolically creating a shadow of the sailor. The box safely contains the sailor's shadow until he is safely ashore, at which time the shadow box can be given to the sailor in a presentation ceremony. Historically, when a sailor would join a ship's crew, he would join that ship for his entire career. During the sailor's voyages to ports of call around the world, he would collect many trinkets, souvenirs, and reminders of his travels. Naturally, as space aboard ship was at a premium, these items tended to be small. When the sailor piped ashore for the last time, his shipmate saw to it that a special ceremonial box was constructed for him. The box would hold all the possessions that had been collected during those many voyages and would simultaneously symbolize the sailor's career and time aboard ship. Ideally, a shadow box serves not only as a reminder of achievements and acknowledgments, but also as a summation, a culmination of a career. A shadow box should enable a stranger glancing at its contents to gain substantial understanding of the owner's past service and achievements. Commander Story and Lieutenant Commander Patron will now present Captain Montgomery with his shadow box. Captain Montgomery, please join Commander Story and Lieutenant Commander Patron at center stage. Thank you, Commander Story and Lieutenant Commander Patron. Captain Drink Wine, please join Captain Montgomery once again at center stage. It is a time-honored tradition that the family of a Navy member be honored. The support of one's family provides the foundation for a service member's successful career. In keeping with this time-honored tradition, ushers, please escort Captain Montgomery's wife and sons to center stage. Captain Montgomery will be presenting his wife Lorraine, sons Joshua and Gabriel, certificates of appreciation in recognition of their unwavering love and support during his 21 years of service. To all who shall see these presents, greetings. By the authority vested in me, it is my pleasure to express the grateful appreciation of the United States Navy to you for enduring the frequent and long separations from Captain Richard Montgomery as he served his country. These months, indeed years, that he spent away from you constitute a clear and noble demonstration of his love for you and his family. You see, he left you in order to ensure that you inherited a safer world, a surer place. To those who say a single man cannot make a difference, I say wrong. He did. He made our Navy stronger and kept our nation safe. With his service to the Navy now complete, you will be able to spend more time with you in the future. The United States Navy thanks you and Captain Montgomery for enduring these separations. Given this 18th day of June 2024, signed E.M. Adriano, Commander, NMRTC, San Diego, United States Navy. Ushers, please escort Captain Montgomery's family back to their seats. flag-passing ceremony you're about to witness is meant as a tribute to the loyalty and patriotism demonstrated by Captain Montgomery. The members of the flag detail are symbolic of the ranks Captain Montgomery held during his 21 years of service. As Old Glory is read and the flag is passed from sailor to sailor until it reaches Captain Montgomery, we ask that you reflect upon where you may have been while he, and many others like him, were forward deployed, and on the deck plates, mentoring and developing junior officers, sailors, and Marines, while proudly serving this fine country we all call home. Flag passing detail. Post. I am the flag of the United States of America. My name is Old Glory. I fly atop the world's tallest buildings. I stand watch in America's halls of justice. I fly majestically over great institutions of learning. I stand guard with the greatest military power in the world. Look up and see me. I stand for peace, honor, truth, and justice. I stand for freedom. I am confident. I am arrogant. I am proud. When I am flown with my fellow banners, my head is held a little higher. My colors are a little truer. I bow to no one. I am loved. I am feared. For more than 200 years, I have fought in every battle of every war. Gettysburg, Shiloh, Appomattox, San Juan Hill, the trenches of France, the Argonne Forest, Anzio, Rome, the beaches of Normandy, the cane fields of the Philippines, the jungles of Guam, Okinawa, Tarawa, Korea, Vietnam, Iraq, Afghanistan, and the heat of the Persian Gulf, and a score of other places, long forgotten by all, but by those who were with me. I was there. I led my sailors and Marines. I followed them. I watched over them. They loved me. I was on a small hill on Iwo Jima. I was dirty, battle-torn and tired, but my sailors and Marines cheered me. I was proud. I have been soiled, burned, torn and trampled on the streets of my own country. And when it is done by those whom I have served in battle, it hurts. But I shall overcome, for I am strong. I slipped the surly bonds of earth, and from my vantage point on the moon, I stand watch over the new frontiers of space. I've been a silent witness to all of America's finest hours. I have flown over the top of the World Trade Center, and after September 11th, 2001, I have flown over its rubble to remind the evil in our world that my spirit will not be crushed. My spirit will not be broken. But my finest hour comes when I am torn into strips to be used as bandages for my wounded comrades on the field of battle. When I fly half-mast to honor my soldiers, sailors, and Marines. When I lie in the trembling arms of a grieving mother at the graveside of her fallen son or daughter, I am proud. My name is Old Glory. Long may I wave. Dear God, long may I wave. Flag passing detail. Post. Captain Montgomery, on behalf of all the men and women of the United States Armed Forces, including those who have made the ultimate sacrifice, we wish to present you what is regarded as a military member's most honored and cherished possession, the flag of the United States of America. The flag is representative of the great nation which you have so proudly served and honorably defended. It is the true emblem of our unity, our power, and our purpose as a nation. Please accept it, guard it, and let it remind you that many young women you have guided and inspired will follow in your footsteps and defend it with equal pride. Captain Montgomery will now present the flag to his wife, Lorraine. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I finally present to you Captain Richard Montgomery to deliver his final remarks as an active duty leader, sailor, and captain.
Thank you. Good morning. Captain Drinkwine, Captain Brooks, Commander Bear, distinguished guests, family and friends. Thank you for joining us today to mark this occasion of retirement from 21 years of active duty naval service. Many have traveled from long distances to attend this ceremony, and I would like to express my sincere appreciation for your presence here today. Captain Drinkwine, thank you for your kind introduction and for presiding over this ceremony. It's been a privilege working with you for the past 11 years. As an interventional radiologist, you consistently demonstrate the highest levels of knowledge and expertise and provide unparalleled care to the many complex patients that we have shared over. It is not an unusual occurrence to find emergent or concerning findings on imaging late in the day or at odd hours. I'm always reassured finding you still present in the interventional radiology suite and be able to consult with you and for the case to intervention. Your dedication is coupled with your genuine compassion for patients under your care. I have witnessed this many times over the years, and your example is certainly one to be emulated. Captain Brooks, thank you for the honor of your presence here today. Our lives intersected many years ago as junior lieutenants of the 562nd Flying Training Squadron in San Antonio, Texas. You have continued on with a long and distinguished career, highlighted by a command tour of the Naval Education and Training Professional Development Center, as well as a tour of executive officer and subsequently commanding officer of the Navy's Recruit Training Command. You have literally directed the future course of this Navy, and we thank you for that. Your friendship over the years is greatly appreciated. Our days together in B Flight of the 562nd were formative ones, laying the groundwork for future success in the Navy, albeit in different career fields from aviation. To my distinguished colleagues, thank you for your attendance today. The clinical days are busy ones, and I know what a sacrifice it can be to spend half a day outside of the hospital. My sincere appreciation extends to the call team for covering the hospital for the duration of the ceremony. Family and friends, everyone here has shared this journey in some special way. This is my opportunity to offer my thanks for your presence in my life and the life of my family. A special thanks to the ceremony participants and ceremony director,
Senior Chief Retired Rex Afon. In many ways, the Chief's Mess is a guardian of the traditions of the Navy. Thank you for preserving and demonstrating these time-honored traditions as we conduct this retirement ceremony. As I reflect on this later career, I would like to highlight some of the elements of my story, including the phenomenal opportunity that the Navy has been for me, my gratitude for this career, and the vital contribution and mentorship to my success. It seems as if I've been a part of the Navy for my entire life. Having grown up in a Navy family, it has been most of my existence. My formative years were spent in the immediate vicinity of a naval air station and all of the fascinating aspects of naval aviation. Those early influences sparked my desire to join the Navy and to find a way into this career field. The United States Naval Academy provided the ideal opportunity, and I jumped at the chance to attend. In preparation for attending, my high school principal, a retired Navy captain, introduced me to my first professional mentor, then Lieutenant Alan Grace. His wife was a teacher at my high school, and upon hearing of my acceptance, they invited me to dinner to assist in preparing me for my transition. They remained interested in my progress throughout my time there, even willing me a pair of ensign boards upon commission. The academy was transformative. I was surrounded by intelligent, driven individuals who would become my long-term professional colleagues and lifelong friends. I am honored that my plebe summer and plebe year roommate, Brendan Nelligan, is here today to share this moment. Brendan, that was quite an experience. Being a plebe, but your sense of humor and quiet confidence helped me through many a day. To David Glover, my roommate for the duration of the time at the Academy, thank you for your friendship. Best wishes as you complete your PhD dissertation. Considering all of the opportunities within the Navy, the Academy is probably the single greatest in my humble opinion. It prepared us all well for the rigors of the military careers to come. A crucial part of my time there was my sponsor family, Mrs. Linda Taylor, who could not make the trip today, but I would like to acknowledge her and Lieutenant Colonel Jack Taylor, her husband, a retired Air Force pilot. They took in 3 Hawaii midshipmen, knowing we were far from home, and made us a part of their family during our time at the Academy. Thank you, Mrs. Taylor. You truly were the spirit of aloha. It was through my sponsor family that I met Dr. Andrew Chaco, a lifelong friend and brother. He is in attendance today, along with his wife, Michael. Andrew, thank you for your presence in my life. You have cared for me and my family consistently throughout the years. I'm glad that we are both here to enjoy this time. Service selection and graduation started my time in naval aviation. With a year-long training backlog in the NFO pipeline, I was afforded the opportunity to attach to 2 different fleet squadrons, VXN-8 and VP-17, both P-3 Orion squadrons, to await a class training date. During this time, I qualified as an observer in the aircraft, held a variety of ground jobs, and the experience solidified my desire to enter this particular community. Flight school brought its standard set of challenges, but proved to be a structured and professional environment, allowing us to achieve our goals of earning our wings. My constant companions throughout that time were my Academy classmates, Commander Mike Farron, Captain Dave Whitehead, and Rich Lee, who eventually went on to become a Navy chaplain. Stressful days were tempered by humor and the shared experience of this new occupation. Winging took me on to the Fleet Replacement Squadron and to the subsequent first sea tour with the Skinny Dragons of Patrol Squadron 4. The first sea tour with VP4 encompassed 3 deployments to both the 5th and 7th Fleet regions. I was blessed with a cohort of phenomenal command leadership, pilots, naval flight officers, aircrew, and maintainers. New NFOs were usually paired up with a junior pilot, and my new partner was Lieutenant Miles Irvin. Miles was a constant companion while we flew our first deployment, mostly due to the fact that 2-person integrity of the cryptographic gear were under our signature. We eventually went on to lead our own crew 5 on our second deployment, where we were joined by a new junior pilot, Lieutenant JG Chuck Sweeney, who is in attendance today. Chuck, I am ever grateful for your presence on that deployment. You set about learning your new calling with enthusiasm and professionalism while keeping crew morale high. Truly good times. The third deployment and my last crew represented a pivotal point of my career. Experience brought with it greater challenges in our tasking range from missions above the Arctic Circle, over the polar ice pack, and into the Bering Straits, all the way across the Pacific to the ever-present reconnaissance patrol in the Persian Gulf. This crew consisted of Lieutenant Stan Burns, Lieutenant Doug Belvin, Lieutenant J.G. Neil Yanamine, Lieutenant Paul Peverly, AW2, now Senior Chief Retired Cameron, AW2 Lapidus, AW2 Max Vaughn, Radar Operator, and AT2 Whisper. Lieutenant Burns left prior to our last deployment, succeeded by Lieutenant Doug Belvin. Doug was an intelligent and precise pilot. He was ever keen on details and kept the safety of the aircraft and crew paramount in his concerns. Lieutenant Paul Peverly, a fellow Academy grad and Hawaii product, was a junior NFO on the crew. He quietly performed to such a high standard that I was truly redundant at times. Neil Yanamine rounded out the officers as a junior pilot, also a fellow Hawaii kid. He was quite adept at low-level flying in the ASW realm, which was unusual at that level of experience. When queried on his advanced skills, he stated that his days as an aerial fish spotter in Hawaii contributed to prowess. I found this a fascinating story. This final Persian Gulf deployment was particularly challenging with many missions that tested our abilities in decision-making. I am convinced that the relentless, bordering on obsessive, training and preparation prior to the deployment directly led to our successful mission outcomes. To me, this crew represented the epitome of excellence and devotion to duty, rising to all occasions to accomplish rather hazardous missions around the globe. Present today is Senior Chief Retired Cameron, and I sincerely appreciate you coming here to see this retirement. There was a point in time where we were asked to commit completely and give everything we had. At that point, we stepped forward with honor, demonstrated the utmost of courage, and committed to the mission we had. Thank you. From there, I transitioned to the 562nd Flying Training Squadron in San Antonio, Texas, training classes of Naval Flight Officers and Air Force Navigators in a unique joint training squadron. Here we flew more routine training missions and conducted simulator training in an aircraft squadron with mixed crews of Navy and Air Force Navigators, as well as contract pilots. It was truly a unique experience with a diversity of backgrounds and experience levels that I had not worked in before. Here, Captain Brooks and I intersected at a crucial time in our careers, with the option to leave the Navy a tempting possibility for the both of us. We both found opportunities to pursue that have manifested as fruitful careers. Colonel, it was a joy to share that time with you, flying, and leading the next generation of military leaders. Looking for greater challenges, I decided to transition into medicine. The time of the squadron allowed me the opportunity, with a predictable flight schedule and ready access to nearby community college. I finished my medical prerequisites via many night classes, applied to the University of Texas Health Science Center at San Antonio, and was offered a position. I remember distinctly the morning that I received the acceptance email. I was in pre-flight for a navigation training mission. Dan Montoya, a dear friend and fellow P3 NFO, was on the same flight with me. Upon hearing the news, he joined me in celebration. Dan, thank you for sharing in that moment of success and the joy that it is associated. Medical school in San Antonio was the beginning of a new life. Fortunately, the Navy has prepared me well for the challenge. Justin Clark, a fellow Navy scholarship student, became a close friend to my family during that time. Justin, it's been a pleasure to take the Navy medicine journey with you. Thank you for being a Texan. Upon graduation, the Navy granted me the opportunity for a deferred residency and subsequent fellowship in diagnostic radiology with an emphasis in abdominal MRI, which was a particular need for the Navy at the time. It This was preceded by a clinical internship in internal medicine. His postgraduate training allowed for a family to stay in San Antonio for the decade that it encompassed. This period of time was tough. There were long hours, challenging cases, and a seemingly endless list of imaging. This took a bit of toll on the family, but I could only ask for forgiveness. It was a necessity. Mentors were an important facet of my success in medicine. Dr. Gerald Dodd III was my first mentor in radiology. He offered me the opportunity to participate in a radiology research project during medical school, opening the door to radiology for me. Dr. Dodd, thank you for giving a first-year medical student the chance. A special thank you to my first radiology program director, Dr. Hugh Clark, who gave me a very concise answer of what to expect in residency. When I expressed a desire to enter the field, his three-word answer was extremely accurate. Well, ain't easy. Dr. Clark, thank you for spotting the residency. It was a phenomenal experience. To my dear friends in residency, Dr. Alvin Patel and Dr. Vince Chu, thank you for your friendship. We had a standing study group on Thursday night at Vince's house. Those evenings consisted of dinner and as many cases as we could get through before fatigue set in. 4 years of studying and working together helped me to become the physician that I am today. Also, thank you for housing me next to tired during his comments. After one traffic accident and another episode of falling asleep at a red light, staying closer to the hospital for periods of time probably kept me alive. Dr. Chitapali, Dr. Suapra, Dr. Katapatina, Dr. Shirley Phillips, thank you for being the best clinical mentors and teachers of radiology and prepared me well for clinical practice. The years here at Naval Medical Center San Diego have been a whirlwind of activity. My 11 years as a Navy physician have gone by in a flash. The majority of my time here has been as a radiology program director, a job that I cherished and put my heart and soul into. Captain Green, Captain Lujan, thank you for the chance to participate in graduate medical education. It's been a great privilege. To the residents, you are a phenomenal group of physicians. Many are now my colleagues, and I appreciate the professionalism and commitment to excellence that you display on a daily basis. Residency is a challenging period of life, but you consistently rise to the occasion. I look forward to the coming years and the opportunity to continue working together. Bob Marks, fellow body imager, and decade-long companion in the room. I have learned much working together, and along with your vast clinical experience, I have always enjoyed the levity that you bring to a day of radiology. To my radiology colleagues, thank you for being a supportive and collegial group. I have enjoyed the days together. To my clinical colleagues, medical, surgical, specialists, subspecialists, thank you for your dedication to the care of the patient. I have enjoyed our interactions over challenging cases. Thank you for trusting me. Roberta, thank you for being patient and kind with me at all times. You have a genuine love for this residency and each individual resident. In many ways, you are loved. Your warmth and compassion for the residents have been the perfect complement to my warm, reserved personality. Alina, Rose, and Mike, thank you for being the best GME team. Your support has been instrumental in the success of our residency program. Thank you for always being ready with the necessary answer, offering encouragement, and for the friendship along the way. To the men's group at Seacoast Church, you have been my friends, mentors, and an important part of my family since the first days that I arrived in San Diego. Frank Song, Curtis Chan, Chris Scharf, James Baxter, and Kevin Barrett. We started moving into a new home here in San Diego. We were there to bless the home and bless the family. Thank you for being here to close out this military career. To my families, Dad, thank you for your career of service. It provided a springboard for mine. I'm glad that you could make this retirement, given that you missed the Annapolis graduation, secondary to an unexpected surgery. My mother is no longer alive, but she would have enjoyed this moment. She was an old-world Japanese mother, raised in a post-World War II Japan, a naturalized citizen of this country, and proud of her final status as an American citizen. She ran the family with efficiency and iron discipline. You may think this an odd compliment for another, but only those who have encountered these women will understand. They were tough, unflinching, and demanded excellence. I owe my disciplined life to her guidance. Montgomery family, Uncle Glenn and Sharon, thank you for your support over the years and your presence here today. It means the world to me right now. Crony Clan, one of the greatest sisters in the world, you have supported us throughout the years. Childbirth, deployments, graduations, surgeries, transitions. Someone has been there to assist, often with only days' notice. Valerie, thank you for being a protector. Claudia and Bill, thank you for caring for my young family and providing them respite during long deployments. Andrea, thank you for your vigilant presence in the life of our kids. This Italian family, full of life and color and noise, has been an adventure from the start. You have taught me that you remain your family. Joshua and Gabriel, thank you for your patience with me through all of these years. There have been long absences and times of hardship. As adults, you demonstrate strength and resiliency. Both of you are blessed with the ability to create and deliver music. This brings joy into a harsh world. Please continue to hone this gift. I do miss hearing your creations in our lives. Live honorably, pursue significance in your life, and love your family. I am proud to be your father. Honor and protect the young women who accompany you. They are deserving of your best selves. To my dear wife, Elaine, thank you for 29 years of companionship. We have walked the gamut of life together, experiencing the good and the bad. The storms of life have swirled, and you have been steadfast by my side. You have raised 2 boys, ran households, trained dogs, supported me throughout all the years of training, both medical and flight, prayed through our deployments, rejoiced in homecomings, celebrated success, mourned loss. You are driven by unshakable faith, persistent hope, and limitless love. You are a military spouse, a patriot. In the days of recent war, when young soldiers were being transported home after death in conflict, I was sharing love. Hearing about the transport route for a young soldier passing through South Texas, we proceeded to the side of the highway on a rainy Texas morning to stand, waiting for a motorcade, in order to pay respects to a young man in a Goldstone war who had never met. We do not do this for recognition, accolade, but merely out of love. That episode is only one of many that are anchored in my memory and epitomizes who you are. Your presence brings comfort. Your laughter brings joy. Your siblings should know that the baby of this family is a courageous woman and mother, pure of heart, fiercely loyal, persevering under circumstances that would make respected. It is a privilege to be your husband. I am a better man for you. I could not have orchestrated the past 31 years. Rather, I am convinced that I am here by divine providence. The Navy has been a phenomenal opportunity for me. My commanding officers have held high standards, provided avenues to hone skills, demanded excellence, and trusted me to accomplish complex and dangerous missions. Teamwork, superb colleagues, relentless training, and a bit of good fortune have all combined to bring success. To those who continue to stand the watch, remain vigorous in your preparation. If the next conflict is ever present on the horizon, we bear the responsibility of keeping our nation's defenders ready for that eventuality. Make no compromise. Quality people are the backbone of our enterprise. Make judicious decisions. Recruit and retain the finest talent possible. Actively mentor the people around you. I have benefited from many talented mentors and could not have enjoyed this day without them. Pay heed to your training environment. Remain professional at all times. Demand ethics of yourself. To the residents, prepare for adversity, cold events. Do not succumb to the siren song of a perfectly balanced life, perfectly diagnosed or excessive comfort. The military experience requires and will demand much more from us. Challenge yourselves in training, seek complex cases, push yourselves beyond your capabilities just to feel extreme. In doing so, you will steadily improve and you will adequately prepare for those to follow. To the United States Marine Corps, thank you for always being there first. I work for the fear of all the security of friends around the world. In these times, without fail, as we would tax to a start, a United States Marine will be visible. You have my deepest appreciation and admiration. To all, this remains a nation worthy of defending with our lives. Those gathered here today are dedicated to supporting and defending the Constitution of the United States against all enemies. I encourage you to study the nation's history, read military history, and learn the stories of those who have gone before us. Take your children to see this great nation, the monuments to past heroes, the beautiful national parks. In doing so, you will leave a legacy of love for the greatest nation on earth. In conclusion, there is an often repeated phrase that many will recognize. Time, tide, information, forever. It is forever burned into my consciousness. This is my last formation. The tides will continue to ebb and flow as they are designed. But my time has come to a close. Thank you for your kind attention. I stand ready to be piped to shore. May God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America.
Please make your way back to center stage. Captain Drink Wine, please join Captain Montgomery to present the certificate of retirement. Certificate of retirement from the Armed Forces of the United States of America. To all who shall see these presents, reading. This is certified that Captain Richard S. Montgomery, having served faithfully and honorably, was retired from the United States Navy on the 1st day of July, 2024. Signed, Vice Admiral Rich Cheeseman, United States Navy, Chief of Naval Personnel. Thank you, Captain Drinkwine and Captain Montgomery. You may take your seats. Ladies and gentlemen, Commander Scott's story will now read the watch.
Today, our Navy has given most of the pomp and circumstance, the honors, traditions, and ceremonies back to history. Time does not give us the freedom to do all these things from the past, but we still have to stop all engines, lay about smartly, and drop anchor to pay homage to one of our shipmates coming ashore. To honor the years served, the guidance, the leadership, the friendship, and the expertise that this shipmate has really given us 21 years. For 21 years, this medical officer stood the watch. While some of us were in our racks at night, this radiologist stood the watch. While some of us were in school learning our trade, this radiology residency program director stood the watch. Yes, even before some of us were born into this world, this shipmate stood the watch. In those years when the storm clouds were moving on the horizon
Thank you, Commander Story. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and be covered. Colonel Sharp will now deliver a benediction.
Thank you and gratitude, Symphony Warriors, Heavenly Father, thank you again for your day and the gift of your son, Rich. Please continue to be a lamp for his feet and continue to provide for him mind, body, heart, and your children to guide him. Lorraine, Joshua, and Gabriel in the next season of their lives. Thank you for providing him as a friend to me, as I've witnessed firsthand his trust in you. Trust you share in Psalm 91:2. I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. Lastly, bless all who are here this morning and allow us to rest in the truth that you are the creator and the provider of all. It's in your holy and loving Son's we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Colonel Sharp. In the late 1700s, the U.S. Navy set sail with new ideas, new goals, and a desire to build traditions that would last the test of time. The U.S. Navy led the way, providing honors for crewmen. The 1800s saw enlisted men holding retirements for enlisted men for the first time. The captain would allow the jolly boat to take the enlisted retiree ashore. Then, after the Civil War, commanding officers began to hold enlisted retirement ceremonies to show the crew and the Navy recognized the immeasurable contribution of its enlisted sailors. And now, in over 200 years of naval tradition, Captain Montgomery will request permission to go ashore and Captain Drinkwine for the last time. Captain Drinkwine and Captain Montgomery, center stage, please. Bosun, stand by to pipe the side. Shipmate going ashore.
Aye, sir. Side boy. Hup!
Sound 4 bells. Richard Stivers Montgomery, Captain, United States Navy, retired, departed. Sound 4 bells. Richard Stivers Montgomery, Captain, United States Navy, retired, and Navy family departed. Guests, family, and friends, this concludes our ceremony. On behalf of retired Captain Montgomery and his family, thank you very much for taking part in this time-honored tradition. Dr. Montgomery and his family would like to invite you to light refreshments.
Thank you so much. There's cake. I don't know who's serving it, but there's somebody's doing it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
And you want us?
John Bears.
Good.
Well, I went there and I was like, and then Rex got his Gabriel said, I don't want to take it. I thought it was all but it kind of surprised me.
Rex, strong work.
We're live. Say something to Doctor.
Congratulations. Congratulations, Rich. Congratulations.
Let's have a picture taken.